Hey, hey, hey. All right, everyone. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Let's just get this straight into it. In this video, we're going to be going over just the futures index, the currency indexes, the yen, the pound, the US dollar. Haven't done one of those in a while. That was one of the topics we were talking about in the Discord group. So if you guys haven't joined the Discord group, feel free to check it out. It's There's like 88 of us, I think, or 90 of us. So if you guys aren't in that, thanks a lot for you guys joining. I really appreciate it. We talk pretty well. You guys know I'm always in the voice chat. I'll be guaranteed in there for the first 2 hours of the Europe Open and probably for the first hour of the US Open. Besides that, I'm usually in there. If I'm not, then I'm busy. Uh, Spend most of my time. If you guys ever have questions, come in there and talk. Most of you guys watching this video are probably already in it. So I'm just basically talking to you guys, saying thanks very much. And like I said in there, we're going to be doing meetings in there too. So anyways, you guys know where to reach me. It's easy to reach me there. And this is just kind of for you guys. We'll talk about the daily 4-hour charts of these, and we'll go pretty quick. So we're first just going to start looking at the US dollar on the daily chart. If we look at this, we look at current price, we are clearly coming right down into that daily demand zone near it. Definitely want to be a buyer in this location. I'm bullish. We do have those big on Friday. We have a lot of, the non-farm payroll coming out on Friday, new month. Summer just ended too, so we're going to start picking up the volatility and more liquidity, sorry. So we have demand down here. We have some demand down here. That's really for the daily time frame. For the 4-hour time frames, this is a nice little day, 4-hour supply, 4-hour supply. So if you guys are, I know there's a lot of guys like interested in scalping. So just I recommend using the futures correlation when scalping. So these are like little zones I would have measured out to keep an eye on for if price ever comes back. And as for supply, we've talked about it before. We are reacting off of this daily supply right now, and we don't have daily supply again till up there. So definitely with price in that location, it is sell territory. Oh, we actually broke it. There you go. Broke that daily supply. So with current price where it's at, definitely I would want to be a buyer in the US dollar for any longer term trades. With price down here, we're clearly low too. But if we get more price coming back up into drop-based drop or rally-based drop supply zone on the 4-hour, for scalping opportunities, it's a great scalping opportunity. Let's continue on. I talked about the US dollar for a bit. Euro. Let's get right into the euro. Same thing. Euro, we're reacting off of this weekly demand area. We have weekly supply up here. Reacting off that weekly demand. Counter trend. I'm going to talk about trends with you guys sometime later. We talked about how we're reacting off of this daily demand down here inside that weekly demand. So remember I told you guys about any buys would be counter trend, so it's something to consider and look out for. We talked about how I remember somebody was saying they're trying to sell the euro or the US dollar coming up into these supply zones. And I mentioned it's not really a good idea when you're coming up into daily and weekly demand right here. Like you're literally inside the weekly and daily, so it's probably not best trying to sell 4-hour supply zones on the euro. As you can see, they got blown through. And these are nice zones to be looking for pullbacks into and for the euro. Drop-based rally, rally-based rally right here. Definitely some good areas to be looking for buys. I think you guys have been starting to understand the multiple time frame analysis talk. It's been a lot of that, and I think it's pretty good. If you guys have any questions regarding how to draw the zones too, drop them in there. I have seen some people like not correctly drawing them, how I would recommend drawing them. So if I do see any of that, I'll try to point it out. But I can't, it's hard to respond to 90 people to every chart. As for supply, definitely up in here is where the next selling opportunity might be on the euro. All right, so let's keep going. Pound, we talked about this daily chart. We are coming up into supply. And we were talking about, it was on the pound US dollar. So this is the pound futures. And I said this is a really nice supply zone. We talked about it yesterday or 2 days ago. Our price was down here, and I said this is definitely an area where I want to be looking for shorts. What I don't like about this now is we actually go into the chart is this is daily supply, and this is the 4-hour supply we're looking at right now, this supply zone up here, rally base drop. What's not good is we're starting to base right here before entering the zone. So if price does manage to, let's see, where's that tool? Here we go. So if price has managed to come up into it and test it like this and close, right? If it closes with that next bullish candle, well, now you just created this rally base rally going into that zone. It was actually like that Bitcoin that we talked about. As you can see, it's still, I actually still have it marked off on my charts. Somebody mentioned that they were trying to sell. And I said, yeah, that's totally cool and all. You're trying to sell Bitcoin. It's coming up into daily supply, nice supply up in here. We can see how prices rallied up into it and came back down. But what did it come back down into? It came into that 4-hour rally-based rally demand. That was cutting any profit margin from up here into the supply zone. And you can see how price touched it, held, and came up and actually went deeper into the daily supply zone. So clearly there is a bigger stack of buy orders, and we're reacting off of that daily supply too. And if this 4-hour demand is respecting it, there's clearly a big stack of buy orders, and we're creating new demand here. So if I want to be getting short or bearish on Bitcoin, definitely want to see this demand zone getting removed. So if we go back to that pound US dollar, you see how it was starting to base. It's kind of like the Bitcoin, but like 2 days beforehand. You know, this could just rocket right through. It could literally touch it though, and then it could honestly just rocket right through, or it could, you know, touch it for a bit and it could just completely drop, you know, but it is blocking the arrival and a profit margin, so it's something to be cautious of. You know, it's definitely a nice little area too for looking for scalps, so keep that in mind too. Let's keep going. I talked about that for too long. I didn't want this to make this video too long. The yen, I don't see anything. If you were to pull up this chart, I don't see any supply above. This is ugly. I don't see any demand till down here, and there's probably no demand until right here on the 4-hour. Yes, exactly. See, I mentioned that in the Discord too. Somebody asked me about wick when we do a meeting, but we talked about wicks, and you guys said, hey, would you be possibly drawing them out like this, the whole zoned? And I said, well, you think about the wick's a liquidity search, and now it's usually pointing to the next stack of buy orders. And one of the things you could do if you wanted, you could go down to a smaller time frame and see if there is a smaller zone inside that. And that's exactly what we did here with the yen futures. We go down to the 4-hour and we see this beautiful 4-hour drop base rally demand. But keep in mind, this is a 4-hour demand, not a daily demand. You know, that's important. It's a beautiful zone too. It's a very big move out. So that's the next demand zone. That's fresh, that's quality that I would consider looking for buys in the yen. You can clearly see the support line holding too. Clearly buyers are trying to step in and respect it. Aussie, let's keep going. I don't see anything in here on the Aussie. You guys have known I've talked about the Aussie for a while. I haven't been trading it for the past 2 weeks. Gosh, I'm recording, thank gosh. This is going pretty well, that's why I checked. I think it's a really good, this is awesome, this one. This is a good one for you guys, because when I see these charts and I see things that we talked about in the Discord, and then it flashes in my mind and then I bring it up. I don't see anything here, nothing. I talked about it in my other videos about the Aussie. If we could quickly go to Aussie USD, I don't even have it marked off because I'm not even trading it, because this is clearly just, it's crap, it's asshole. There's nothing here, so I wouldn't be trading it. Let's just keep going. Same with New Zealand. It's just been a slow grind. There's no demand here or supply. And if you want to say this is supply, you can, but I wouldn't want to be really trading at it. It's not a great zone after price has just been grinding the whole time and then shoots down. You know, you might see, you don't even see any good zones in the 4-hour. It's nothing great. I haven't been trading the Aussie or the New Zealand. Swiss. This is literally an example that we talked about on the pound or the yen, about how you have to go to a smaller time frame. We're now reacting off of daily supply right here, drop base drop. You can see how price is currently reacting off of it right now. 4-hour supply. There's some supply up there. You might find it in that wick right there. So here, if we go back to the daily, this was a drop base rally demand zone, but we talked about this wick right here. I know I mentioned it. I made a post on Twitter, I believe, and TradingView about how this is a demand zone. And I noticed how next time, this was the whole analysis, I believe. This was the demand zone I had highlighted out, and it basically just touched it. Just came up, touched, rallied up. Price came back down again. So I knew that if this was tested, price was likely to go deeper in. So I went down to a smaller time frame to see if there was zones inside of it. And here we are with that 4-hour drop base rally, rally base rally, a level on top of level right here. And it makes sense, right? We have to go down to a smaller time frame to see this level, and it's at the very extreme, and we can see how well that level worked out completely. But now we're reacting off of daily supply, so clearly we're starting to get that pull back down. Right now we're reacting off of that rally base rally 4-hour demand, so you might see some good scalps to pick up if you actually listen to this in the next 12 hours, 5 hours, something like that. I don't know, but definitely have some 4-hour demand right here. Keep your eye on that, and then let's keep going. Canadian, we just had the bank rates. I don't see anything right here. We're reacting off right now off the supply. And this is actually another one. There was a question. I hope all you guys are listening to this, because there was a question in the group that said, hey, one's if there's a big wick and then there's a couple bases, and then you get the drop. And I said, yes, that's okay. You know, it's not the best because prices actually managed to go all the way up and then came down, so it could be a stop hunt. But this would be a zone right here, because we based here for another 3-4 candles and then we dropped. And you can see how price came up, tested it once, and now it's going in deeper in again because it's already been tested, so it has to go higher up into the level in order to find that next stack of sell orders for it to drop. Right? So if we actually go down to the 30 minutes, let's see. You can see prices starting to base. It's having a battle right now between the 4-hour supply. Buyers and sellers are fighting right here. One of them will take control. It's either going to go up or it's either going to go down. Right? Technically, it's all it can do. It can only go up or down. And that's it. That was quick. I thought there was another one. That's it. We'll keep it like that. Just stick to the futures chart. I went into some examples about some of the questions we talked about. I thought this was pretty informative because you guys see me typing in the Discord and you guys might not get it sometimes. So maybe it's just nice to hear it from me, and we'll go from there. All right. If you guys haven't, I'll probably leave the. If you guys haven't joined it, I'll feel free. I'll leave the link in the description for you guys to join. And that's it. I'll shut up now. Cheers. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.